Hi, I'm Troy Alexander for Child Support Game Over. Today I'd like to talk about the process of becoming the legal father. Now, it's their responsibility or their goal to make you the legal father, which makes you a non-custodial parent in most cases, and in their eyes makes you under contract as a customer to them. And that is the position that they are fighting from. And when you do not sign the voluntary acknowledgement of paternity, they have a problem. And they have to convince you to consent. This is key, and I think most men have missed this huge point and how important this is and what it really means. And, bear with me. I'm going to explain this. And many of you may find this a massive weapon for you if you did not sign the VAP and if you were not married. So this video, I guess, could be specifically toward about 25% of the men out there. But it's going to be hugely important. See, when they get you to take a paternity test, a genetic test, even if you are 100%, 99.99999% the father, the biological father, that does not make you the legal father. And they absolutely have to have you accept and consent to be the legal father. And if you've watched many of our videos of the last couple months, this is something we've been trying to explain, the legalese behind all this. You have to understand what it means to be the legal father. This is different from biological father. Now, in Wisconsin, what they do is they'll send you a summons. And many times a summons will, have some sort of judge's stamp on it. It'll be demanding you show up to certain court for a certain judge. It's a bait and switch. I don't know how they're doing it in other states, but in Wisconsin, they're doing a bait and switch. They're tricking men into thinking that some sort of action has been taken against them, that there is some sort of court case. There is no court case. There can't be until you are the legal father, until you consent. And it takes your consent to be the legal father. This is so important. And, if you need to, watch this video a couple times until you understand. There is no court case until you're the legal father. And even then, it's not a court case. There is no case. There's nothing. It's just drama and kabuki theater and lies and fraud. The fraud is immense. So this summons will have a court case number on it. There is no court case. And they'll demand you show up at such and such time or that you get a paternity test done. And they threaten you with default judgment, and they threaten you with possible jail. And again, there is no case. There is no case. If you were to go down and say, I want all the records on this case, the Clerk of Court would. They're sending police officers with these summons demanding men do things, and they've got some kabuki number that's made up. It's like they're presupposing that they will convince you, convince you to become the legal father. And at that point, then they're going to use that kabuki number, which really isn't a court case either, but that's another point. But we've had it where, a guy locally, he refused to sign the voluntary acknowledgement of paternity, and they said they were going to arrest him, and they made him post bail with a signature bond. And when we inspected the paperwork, to see who the hell was ordering him to go to jail, there was no order. There can't be an order because there is no case. So he was told he must show up the next day for the paternity test for another kabuki court dramatization. And he shows up and they say, well, did you get the paternity test done? He says, no. Well, you better get it done right now. And he said, I'm not going to. And they pretty much said, well, we will get the judge to come down and send you to jail then. She said, fine, go get the judge. So he's standing there waiting, and instead of walking the judge, in walk a couple of jailers, and they're jingling their keys, threateningly, like, ooh, we're going to lock you up. And he holds his ground, and another 10 minutes pass, and then the child support worker comes in and says, well, the judge wasn't available. So now the pretend pseudo court commissioner, the supplemental court commissioner operating for the business, the Wally World child support business, tells him he's got till 4:30 to get the test done, or she is going to order him to jail. So he goes down to the Clerk of Court to file a de novo motion to get rid of her order. And at this point, he discovers there is no court case, because there is no court case. It's all fraud. There's fraudulent summons, fraudulent crap, fraudulent threats. This is how they're doing it. But even if he did, like I said, even if he did get the paternity test, that just could say he's the biological father. It does not make him the legal father. That takes consent. The judge will say, well, it says you're 99.9995% the father. Do you accept the results? Yeah. Okay, great. You're the legal father. Put his name on the birth certificate. And now they're going to make judgments against you. Now they're going to say, well, we're going to order you to pay X number of dollars per month. You're going to pay this hospital pills and blah, 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 blah. There's no court case. There's no nothing. There was you consenting to be the legal father. It is only at this point that they can make default judgments. And I have heard from a number of guys, and it took me a while to understand this, and I apologize if I did not explain this well. When they're making a default judgment, in what? There's no case. Until you are established a legal father, they cannot make a default judgment against you. They can't make any judgment against you. You have to consent to being the legal father. And there may be a lot of guys out there, I hope, listening to this going, well, son of a bitch. They ran their little kabuki theater without me. They decided by default that I'm the legal father, and they put my name on the birth certificate. I think you've got a really good chance to get that overthrown. Because unless you consent, again, it doesn't matter if you're the biological father, it doesn't matter any of that stuff. Unless you consent, there is no case. There is no case of anything. They can't make a default judgment. And again, this is the kabuki theater making a default judgment. Even the kabuki theater can't make a default judgment until you are made the legal father. They cannot make a default judgment that you are the legal father. That is the key of this. So, take this battle axe and go to war. Let's kick some butts and let's destroy this system. Again, I'm Troy Alexander from Child Support Game Over. You can find us at csgameover.com, and the link will be in the description. Thank you.